Roberts here. I just want to let you all know how much I miss you and how much I wish we were still in school together, but since that's not possible, I wanted to reach out in a little way just to say hello. Just to tell you a little bit about me that you may not know, is when I was your age, I was not a strong reader. I struggled with it a lot, and it was something I had to overcome and work on a lot to become the teacher I am today and the reader I am today, because I do enjoy reading and I do enjoy books. But it took me a while to get there. And because of that, I didn't get to read a lot of the books that you read when you're young, a lot of those really cool series. In fact, I didn't even read Harry Potter until I was in 7th grade. It took me that long to get to that point. And so one of the series I've always wanted to read was the Magic Treehouse books. And I always wanted to read them in order. So it's been very important to me. So while we're off and we have this extra time, I wanted to find a way to spend a little bit of time with you each day. So I'm going to go through the Magic Treehouse books. I have 1 through 5, and if we keep going with this, I will definitely get more. And I'm going to read 2 chapters a day and go from there. And this is just my time to reach out, tell you a little bit about what I'm doing. Lately, I've been running, and that is not easy for Mrs. Roberts, and I've been struggling with it, and it's hard for me, but I'm getting better every day. I started, and it took me 57 minutes to run a little over 3 miles, and now I'm down to 51, which is exciting, and I only ran 3 times, so don't get too excited, but that's my goal, and I'm working on it, and now this is another goal, and I'm working on it. I think this is a time where we should try to do things that we can't normally do and work to better ourselves, so that's what I'm trying to do. So, here we go. The Magic Treehouse. Dinosaurs Before Dark. Chapter 1. Into the Woods. Help! A monster, said Annie. Yeah, sure, said Jack. A real monster in Frog Creek, Pennsylvania. Run, Jack, said Annie. She ran up the road. Oh, brother, thought Jack. This is what he got for spending time with his 7-year-old sister. Annie loved pretend stuff, but Jack was 8 and a half. He liked real things. Watch out, Jack! The monster's coming, said Annie. Jack didn't say anything. Come on, Jack, I'll race you, said Annie. No thanks, said Jack. Annie raced alone into the woods. Jack looked into the sky. The sun was about to set. Come on, Annie, it's time to go home, yelled Jack. But Annie didn't answer. Jack waited. Annie, he called again. Jack, Jack, Annie shouted. Come here, quick. Jack groaned. This better be good, he said. Jack left the road and headed into the woods. The trees were lit with golden late afternoon light. Over here, called Annie. Annie was standing under a tall oak tree. Look, she said. She pointed at a rope ladder. It was hanging down from high in the tree. Wow, Jack whispered. At the top of the tree was a treehouse, tucked between 2 branches. That might be the highest treehouse in the world, said Annie. Who built it? Asked Jack. I've never seen it before. I don't know, but I'm going up, said Annie. No, we don't know who it belongs to, said Jack. Just a teeny minute, said Annie. She started up the ladder. Annie, come back, said Jack. But Annie kept climbing. She climbed all the way to the tallest branches. Jack sighed. Annie, it's almost dark. We have to go home. Annie disappeared inside the treehouse. Annie, Jack called. Jack waited a moment. He was about to call again when Annie poked her head out of the treehouse window. Books! Annie shouted. What? Jack said. It's filled with books, said Annie. Oh man, Jack thought. He loved books. Jack pushed his glasses into his place. He gripped the sides of the rope ladder and started up. Chapter 2. The Monster. Jack crawled into the treehouse. Wow, he said. The treehouse was filled with books. Books were everywhere. Every old book with dusty covers and new books with shiny bright covers. Look, said Annie. You can see far away. She was peering out of the treehouse window. Jack looked out the window with her. Below were the tops of the other trees. In the distance, he could see the Frog Creek Library and the elementary school and the park. Annie pointed in the other direction. "There's our house," she said. Annie was right. Jack could see their white wooden house with its green porch. In the yard next door was the neighbor's black dog, Henry. He looked very tiny. "Hi, Henry," shouted Annie. "Shush! We're not supposed to be here," said Jack. Jack glanced around the treehouse again. He noticed that bookmarks were sticking out of many books. "I wonder who owns all these books," he said. "I like this one," said Annie. She picked up a book with a castle on the cover. "Here's a book about Pennsylvania," said Jack. He turned the page with the bookmark. "Hey, there's a picture of Frog Creek," said Jack. "It's the picture of these woods." "Oh, here's a book for you," said Annie. She held up a book about dinosaurs. A blue silk bookmark was sticking out of it. "Let me see," said Jack. He set his backpack down on the floor and grabbed the book from Annie. "Okay, you look at that one, and I'll look at the one about castles," said Annie. "No, we'd better not," said Jack. "We don't know who these belong to." But even as he said this, Jack was opening the dinosaur book to the place where the bookmark was. He couldn't help himself. Jack turned to a picture of an ancient flying reptile. He recognized it as a pterodon, I'm going to go with. Sorry, my dinosaur names are a little rusty. I will Google this for next time, but I think it's a pterodon. He touched the huge bat-like wings in the picture. So I'm still looking at that word. It's got me thrown. I want it to be pterodactyl, but I know it's not. So I'm still going with pterodon. I will look into it. But if any of you have an answer, please comment. "Wow," whispered Jack. "I wish we could go to the time of the pterodons." Jack studied the picture of the odd-looking creature soaring through the sky. "Ah!" screamed Annie. "What?" said Jack. "A monster!" Annie cried. She pointed out of the treehouse window. "Stop pretending," said Jack. "No, really," said Annie. Jack looked out of the window. A giant creature was gliding over the treetops. It had a long, weird crest on the back of its head, a tiny beak, and huge bat-like wings. The creature swooped through the sky. It looked like a glider plane. It was coming straight towards the treehouse. "Get down!" cried Annie. Jack and Annie crouched on the floor. The wind started to blow. The treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster than everything was still. Absolutely. And that's the end of chapter 2. I'm excited to read chapter 3 with you tomorrow. And thank you for popping in to say hi with me. I really miss you all. You have no idea what I would give to be back at call. But gotta make the best of it, right? So good to see all of you. And I hope you had fun with me. And I hope we have fun on this journey. Bye.